2 summers ago, more than 4,000 homes burned in Oregon, along with 1 million acres of land. Everyone knew recovery would take time, but few expected it would take this long. Many are still in temporary housing, fighting red tape and a slow-moving bureaucracy. And now inflation is making everything more expensive. Christine Pitawanich checked in with some of those trying to rebuild.
We're on a river, and it's the little North Fork River of the Santiam, and I really enjoy living there.
These images were taken of Lucretia Benolkin's property in the Santiam Canyon before the wildfire in September of 2020.
Front of the workshop here.
And these are photos taken after the fire moved through. Benolkin's home was leveled, everything gone.
It was pretty scary, realizing that I had nothing left but the clothes on my back and my medicine. Had that with me, and that was it.
Benolkin, who is 89, is living independently in one of her daughter's second home in Arizona as she waits for her new home to be rebuilt. But it's taking a while.
Insurance doesn't cover everything, and all the materials have gone sky high as far as the price.
She is one of many people still displaced.
Given that we were already in a housing crisis and what has happened with construction cost escalation, that really drove us to spending every dollar that we could justify on housing. My name is Alex Campbell. I am the External Affairs Officer for the Disaster Recovery and Resilience section of the Oregon Housing and Community Services Agency.
Oregon Housing and Community Services is the state agency responsible for distributing $422 million of wildfire disaster recovery money from the federal government. The program doing that is called ReOregon.
We dedicated over $300 million of that 422 housing programs. The majority of that for folks who lost a home and we would replace a home.
We're talking affordable housing geared toward home ownership for both prior homeowners and those who rented before and want to buy. Campbell anticipates wildfire survivors will be able to apply late this year or early next year.
But generally speaking, complete new homes are not going to be available prior to probably towards the end of next summer.
Over in the Mackenzie River Valley, east of Eugene,
housing is probably our biggest issue right now.
Jamie Savage works for Cascade Relief, a nonprofit helping with wildfire recovery.
Right now, my main concern is the 150 families that are on their property, living in an RV, some with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids that are trying to figure out, what their rebuild is going to look like and how they're going to do it and what the time frame is they're going to be able to do it in.
She says while the $422 million in federal money will help those with the least resources, she's worried about all the people who were underinsured.
It's the people that are in the middle that are, good employment and, solid income and solid credit history. Those are the people that are having the most difficult time right now.
We are required by the federal government to spend 70% of the total grant to benefit what they call low and moderate income individuals.
In Marion County, Commissioner Danielle Bethel says about 300 families still don't have a place to call home. She says there are big plans for more rental units, but it's slow going.
The county is still working on 2 projects, temporary housing projects, which are tiny homes, 16 units in Gates at the old Gates Motel site and 16 units at North Santiam State Park. Both of those projects are taking much longer than anticipated.
She says the Gates project will likely be complete in early winter of this year. The project at North Santiam State Park will take longer to open, maybe next spring. It's under environmental review right now.
The LIFT project, which is in Mill City, that's 54 units of affordable multifamily housing. They are moving ahead, but that's a pretty slow process.
Bethel says among the hurdles for developers there is that the Mill City sewer system lacks capacity. The system needs improvements, and the hope is that groundbreaking can happen next year. Additionally, Bethel says with help from Oregon Housing and Community Services, the county has bought 14 acres of land in Mill City to develop more affordable housing. That's part of the more than $73 million Oregon Housing and Community Services recently gave out to fund over 600 affordable homes. That is separate from the federal grant.
I love the river. I love the people.
Meantime, Benolkin is hopeful she'll be able to move back into her new home this summer. She recently got some grant money from a local organization, and while it doesn't cover all the costs, she's grateful for the support she has.
Thankful for the people and the friends that I have that have been so very helpful and thoughtful.
Christine Pitawanich joins us now. You've been covering this for 2 years. I think that makes you an expert. As you've checked in with these folks over time, what's this been like for them?
I mean, it has been such a long, drawn-out process. You know, a lot of these people have been denied by FEMA multiple times. They've got caseworkers who are working on their cases, trying to make sure that they get the money they need to rebuild their homes. I mean, meantime, they're waiting for more money to come in. They're hearing about this $422 million, and some of them are kind of at their wits' end, like, well, I don't know. I mean, am I really going to get it? I mean, they're trying to maybe make their own way at this point, but as you also heard, it's a lot of the people who are in the middle, you know, who maybe have great credit, you know, they just were underinsured, like we heard from the Mackenzie River Valley. I mean, a lot of the people who've really needed immediate assistance, they've, you know, been getting the trickle down, they've been getting it. There are also people who can afford to just immediately rebuild. They were well insured, but then you've got the people in the middle.
Yeah, that's a tight squeeze. Plus, they're trying to get on with their lives, I'm sure. They've got jobs and all that, and this is just sort of the constant headache that just keeps giving more headache.
Yeah, and you know, there are resources out there. It's just when you have a full life with a family maybe, or you've got a full-time job, it's really hard to navigate these, you know, little things, all this paperwork even. But we'll work on putting some of the resources that are available on our KGW website. You just look for our story.
And I know there's been some progress. You've taken us out to places that are being rebuilt, so that's a little encouraging, right?
Yeah, and you know, with the spring and the summer, you see a lot of green growth, and I think for people who live in some of these places that have suffered and been devastated, that gives a little bit of hope too, like, okay, nature's coming back, you know, okay, we're putting one foot in front of the other. So yeah, I think there is a feeling of hope as well, even though it is a little taxing.
Yeah, and still goes on and on. All right, thank you, Christine. Great stuff as always.